before I want to go through this question, maybe I go through a question that can help you to understand, just similar to the first question, whereby they are not so complicated, can help you to understand what is actually average. Okay, let's say I say I don't want I'm not going through this question first. Let's say I say your dad, the average between your dad, you and your sister age is 30. Okay, so let's say your dad, your dad, okay, never mind, let me put this one. Okay, the average of you, your dad, and your sister, you and your sister, the average is actually 30 years old. Okay. And okay, now I give you the age of your dad is actually 62, 12, and then your sister is 16 years old. Okay, so this is the average. How do I find this average? This average is actually I add up these three, so will be 90, and then divide 3. So this is how you get the average. Okay, it's 30. So let's say I say that the average between the three of you, I roll the three of you. This is the average age. Okay, 30, 30, and 30. Correct or not? If I don't tell you that there's your sister here, my question is, I were to tell you, if I were to take your father out of this whole picture, then the average age between among the rest will be 14 years old, because your father is 62 years old. So you have to find how many people are there in total. So let's say I take away your dad out of this whole picture. Okay, then of course if I take away your dad, the average will be different already, right? So then the average is 12 at 16, 28 is divided 2, is 14 years old already, right? So I said if I take away your dad, then it's asking you how many people are there. Let's say I don't know there's another sister, there's a sister there, so I just take away your dad, and then I say that, this better, the average will drop to 14 years old and no longer 30 years old. And I know that your dad is 62 years old, so at first the average is 30 years old, correct? I take away your dad, then I know that your dad has an additional, I need to add another 32 years, because your dad age is 62, right? 62 years old. This I take away. I know your dad age, but I don't know you and maybe someone else age, but I just know that your average initial is 30, the average becomes 14. So 14 is here. Okay, and then initial I have 30, so 30 minus 14, right? I still lack of 16. And then this 16 comes from where? This 16 is actually comes from your dad. When your dad add in, right, this your dad will give whosoever here to have this, to make to ensure that the downfall of 16 will be able to get it. So if I know that, I know that this is 32, divide 16, right? Because I know how many people he give. He give this one person, which is you, he still left another 16, correct or not? That means he must have give more than one person. That means he give another person also. So if he were to do that, right, he give away this to 2 person, and then it becomes bad like that. Your average will all become like that. You understand or not? So now I know that there is 2 person. Actually, initially you know, but when the question is asking you how they phrase it, you won't know. But then this is the method of finding. Okay, now I go back to the question. To this question, I write away this. And maybe later I want to go through your first question as well, because if you able to find that question and not able to find the answer and not able to find this question is a bit funny. Drop this away. If you find the explanation is too fast, you can rewind or slow down at your pace. Okay, it said the average of the three person Don, Timothy and his friends. So I know that Don is 14 years old, and I know that there's another person. This is Don, right? Another person, Timothy. These two I know, and his friends, but I don't know how many friends are there. Correct or not? I know that it's 14. The average age is 14. I don't know how many friends are. But if we were to exclude Don and Timothy, who is 24 years old and 25 years old respectively, so I exclude him. This one I don't know is how many friends. Okay, but I know that their average should be also 14, right? Their average should also 14. I don't draw continue because I don't know how many friends. But if I were to exclude them, right, I know that their age is 24 and 25. So 24 minus 14 will be, here is another 10. And then here will be 11, right? So all these, if I were to add them in, if I were to add this and this in, right, you see 10 add 11 is 21 already, right? This is 21. If I remove them, the average age will become 11 years old. So now it's no longer 14, it's 11 years old because I remove them, right? If I remove them, it become 11 years old. That means I still lack of this portion here. I lack of, one person will lack of how much? Will lack of 3 years, correct or not? Correct? So that means this, let's say I put Don, I draw Don, Don and Timothy. Here is 14. Total they have 21. And then they will give this 21 to one person extra 3 because they all become 11. You know, I need 3 more. So I go and give and give and give. So I use 21 divided by 3. I know that there is actually 7 person. So I need to give 7 times. Here, there's actually 7 person. Correct or not? Because I give 7 times, then my 21 use finish already. And then once my 21 use finish already, all this become 14. So it's asking you how many people are there in the group, including Don and Timothy. So here is 7 person, here will be 2 person. So in total, it's actually 9 person. Because you need to add in Timothy and Don. Okay. I rub this off. This is for the second question. And how this method can be used for your first question as well. And this is, you have to understand the rationale behind average. I'm going to pull this out because this is not it's a different question. You have the question with you, so you just follow with me. So the first question asks, the average age of Timothy and his friends is 14 years old. So Timothy, you know that Timothy, right, is 14 years old, and friends, I don't know how many of them, as usual. Okay, I don't know. It can be many. But if we were to exclude Timothy out of the group, that means I take Timothy out of the group, then the average age become 11. You see, average age become 11. Become 11, right? Average age become 11. That means I still need 3 more lah. But when I exclude Timothy out, I know that Timothy age is actually 26. So I take 26 minus 14. It's actually, his will be like that, 12, right? Okay. So I want to know how many friends are there, because once I put him in, right, his age will drop, his average age will drop to 14. So how many times I have to give this one? A lack of 3, so I give this person 3, this person 3, this person 3, so I take 12 divide 3 will be 4. So actually there are actually 4 people here, because 4 of them, if I exclude Timothy, 4 will need 4 of them will need extra 3 to make the average age to become increased. Once I add Timothy in, because once I add Timothy in, let's say this one I give 3, then this one I give 3, I give 3, I give 3, I give finish my 12 already. So you see the average age now become what? All become 14, right? So in total, how many people are there in the group, including Timothy? Including Timothy, there's actually 5 people. This is how you can solve the problem for average. Okay.